transverse abdominis. Transverse abdominis is the key muscle of the lower belly from my perspective, and it really is the main abdominal muscle that provides support to your spine, the lower spine and the lumbar curve. So we're going to take a look at a very simple exercise to start working the transverse. First, I'll show you two different muscles. First, the transverse. Inhale and exhale. You bring your hands onto your lower belly to feel this. Inhale again. And exhale, this time pushing the exhale. One more time, inhale fully. And exhale and really push out on the exhale. When you push at the end of the exhale, you should really feel a sense that there is a wrapping feeling from the back to the front of the body and that the navel moves down to the spine. This is the engagement of the transverse abdominis. Now you're going to lift your head and shoulders and look at your knees. Right? Head and shoulders up off the floor and look at the knees. This should be a completely different muscle, your sit-ups muscle that runs up and down from the rib cage to the pelvis. One more time, head and shoulders up, and see if you get a feeling of that muscle that runs up and down. So the transverse abdominis runs from the back to the front and draws the lower belly in, and the rectus abdominis, your sit-ups muscle, goes up and down and tends to push the belly up, especially up above the navel. Now we're just going to see what muscle works for you more or works automatically or unconsciously. Start by taking your right foot up 3 inches off the floor, and when you're ready with a stable spine, take the left foot 3 inches to meet it. Nothing should happen. There should be no change in voice, no change in the lumbar spine, no change anywhere. Lower the feet. Very often though, watch my lower back and see what happens. One foot comes up, and when the other foot comes up, there's a hiking in the lower back and a lifting of the belly because the deeper transverse muscle doesn't really do its supporting work and the rectus muscle takes over and works more. Try again. Right foot up 3 inches. Now this time, pull the navel in, stabilize the lower back, bring the left foot up to meet it, and nothing should happen. That is the ideal situation we're looking for. Left foot up 3 inches, right foot up, the transverse stabilizes the lumbar spine, all the abdominals are working, everything is toning. When you bring the feet up, work gets a little harder. You can start hearing in my voice when I take my legs straighter that I have to now work harder to maintain that stability through the transverse abdominis. That's all good. You want to get to a point where it's easy to come up 3 inches. Work gets harder when you start extending the legs, but the stability of the spine that you develop in the power of the transverse abdominis goes a really long way to avoiding all back pain.